Hey, what's up guys, this is Vimal here and welcome back to another video on my channel. Now this video is going to be super awesome because I finally got my hands on the new RTX Super GPUs. This is the much awaited RTX 2060 Super. It's an aftermarket card made by Galax and is a very affordable and value for money RTX 2060 Super GPU available right now in the market. I'm saying that because this GPU costs only around 34,800 to 35,000 rupees and comes with some really awesome features. So this is the Galax RTX 2060 Super EX one-click OC variant and comes with 8 gigs of GDDR6 memory, whereas on the 2060 we only had 6 GB of VRAM. We've got the Galax branding at the top and their tagline "What's your game" on the front. And also guys, this product comes with 3 years of extended warranty. Let's see what else is written on the box packing. We've got the Galax RTX 2060 Super branding everywhere, and at the back side we've got some of its features. As I've told you, this is the one-click OC variant, so with just a click of a button, you can overclock and boost the performance of your GPU to the maximum. Talking about the price on the box is 45,000 rupees, but it's available for only around 34,800 rupees in the market. Alright, so those are all the pricing details. Now let's get started with the unboxing. Let me grab my knife and cut this seal on the box. Okay, let's open the box and see what do we have on the inside. So the outer cover slides out like this, and on the inside we've got another black box and says GeForce RTX at the top. Let's unbox it and finally check out the GPU. So on opening the box, we've got some paperwork at the top. It's a user manual and a quick start guide. Just make sure to read that for all the info on the product. And guys, here's our brand new GPU, the Galax RTX 2060 Super EX one-click OC GPU. It comes nicely packed in this anti-static cover. Now what makes this GPU special for that price is, it's got two massive RGB illuminated fans. Yes, you heard me right. Unlike all the other GPUs, this one has special RGB fans, and that is why I was very excited to check it out. So here it is guys, this is how it looks like. Wow, this is the dual fan EX model. There's also a model without the RGB fans. The Galax 2060 Super looks pretty heavy duty with a huge heatsink on it, and also has a custom backplate. I like the design, the top panel of the body kinda looks like a sports car. Okay, so before we talk about it in detail, let's see what do we get in this small accessory box. We've got some cables over here. They're Molex to 6-pin and 8-pin PSU converters. That's it, these were the only items we got in the package. Now let's finally check out the product. The Galax RTX 2060 Super EX has a very nice design, and the build quality looks pretty good. Talking about the fans, it's got dual RGB fans, each of 100mm to keep the thermals minimum. Plus, it also supports silent extreme technology. You've got the Galax branding on both of them, and going to the top, this is how it looks like. Here you've got the GeForce RTX branding and says "What's your game" at the center. Even this logo is RGB backlit illuminated. And on the back side we've got an aluminum backplate with the EX series black and white theme all over it. I really like these streaks, gives a nice look to the GPU. So compared to the 2060, the new 2060 Super comes with 8 gigs of GDDR6 memory, has more render output units, texture units, ray tracing cores, and also higher clock speeds. And now this time it requires 2 PSU cables. One is a 6-pin and the other is an 8-pin connector. Previously on the 2060 you only had to connect one 8-pin connector. Alright, now let me show you all the available connectivity ports. You've got 2 DisplayPort 1.4s and 1 HDMI 2.0. Well, that's it guys, that was our complete overview on the Galax RTX 2060 Super EX edition. Now before we move on to the gameplay benchmarks, let me tell you all the specs and special features of the product. The RTX 2060 Super is based on Nvidia's latest Turing GPU architecture, built on a 12nm process. It's got 2176 CUDA cores, 8GB GDDR6 VRAM with a memory interface width of 256-bit, and has 34 ray tracing cores. The base clock frequency is 1470 MHz, while the OC boost clock frequency is 1695 MHz. So those are all the specs of this product. Now let's jump into the gaming section. But before that, let me tell you the test bench setup I'll be using for these benchmarks. The CPU I'm using is Ryzen 7 2700X, the motherboard is Gigabyte's Aorus X470 Gaming 7 Wi-Fi, coupled with 16 gigs of Corsair Vengeance Pro RGB RAM. So what I'll do now is I'll be testing a variety of AAA title games at 1080p resolution with both DXR off and DXR on. It's an RTX GPU, right? So it does support ray tracing. First we'll play all the games with DXR off and then we'll play with DXR on. As you can see, the graphics preset is set to Ultra, which is the maximum quality, and the current resolution is 1080p. And guys, you can monitor the GPU states and performance at the top left corner. The first game we'll be playing is Battlefield 5. Just check out this gameplay. Holy smokes, are you guys looking at the frame rates? We were getting an average frame rate of around 90 to 95 FPS at max graphics quality in 1080p resolution. That is awesome! On my previous RTX 2060, at ultra graphics I used to get only around 75 to 80 frames per second. So yes, this new super GPU is powerful and definitely offers better performance than the 2060. And also when the graphics quality was set to high, which is one step lower, the frame rate was averaging around 110 to 115 FPS. You can observe the CPU as well as the GPU utilization at the top left corner of your screen. Now there is no need for me to tell everything, you guys can just watch the video and get to know how this card performs. Okay, now it's time to turn on ray tracing and see how the super GPU handles it. As you can see, DXR is on, all the graphic settings are still at ultra, and the ray tracing quality is set to medium. Just check out this gameplay. So guys, even with DXR enabled and all the graphics set to maximum, we were getting an average frame rate of around 60 to 65 FPS at 1080p resolution. Now that is what I'm talking about. Just look at those graphics in the game. Amazing! You're able to play AAA title games with such beautiful graphics at buttery smooth frame rates. If you set the graphics to high, which is one step lower than ultra, with DXR enabled, you'll easily get around 75 to 80 FPS. The GPU was performing very well for the price. On my usage, I felt there was a huge improvement compared to my 2060, especially at higher resolutions like 1440p and 4K. That extra 2 gigs of VRAM definitely showed a difference over there. So that was about Battlefield 5. Now let's move on to the next one, which is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. As you can see, we're playing this game also at 1080p resolution with all the graphics set to ultra. Shadow of the Tomb Raider is a very graphic intensive game and puts a lot of load on the GPU. So just like the previous one, we'll be testing this game also with DXR off and DXR on. Right now it's off, so let's see how it performs. Okay, so on an average we were getting around 80 to 85 FPS at 1080p Ultra. That is actually amazing because on the 2060 we were getting only around 60 to 65 FPS. So compared to that, this is definitely a huge improvement. For 1080p gaming, this thing is an absolute monster on a budget. You'll be very satisfied with the performance. And not only 1080p, it's also great for 1440p gaming. So I've been testing and playing games on it non-stop for around 25 to 30 minutes and the GPU is quite stable. The temperatures were fluctuating around 65 to 70 degrees centigrade and didn't go beyond 72 degrees. Now I've enabled DXR and as you can see everything is set to ultra and the ray tracing quality is set to high. Alright, let's play the game and see how the GPU handles it. That is amazing guys, we were getting an average frame rate of around 55 to 60 FPS and if you set the graphics to high, you'll easily get around 70 to 75 FPS. Alright, this is the final game before we end the video. Let's also play PUBG and check out the results. I'm playing PUBG at 1080p resolution with all the graphics set to ultra. So just sit back, relax and enjoy the gameplay. So based on that gameplay, on an average we were easily getting around 100 frames per second at max graphics in 1080p. The GPU is doing a very good job. You'll love playing PUBG on this GPU. Let me tell you about the fan noise. The Galax RTX 2060 Super comes with dual 100mm fans, and it also supports silent extreme technology. That means the fans on the GPU do not spin when there is no load. They start spinning automatically when the GPU temperature starts rising. So because of this, there is zero fan noise most of the time. And during heavy loads also, I didn't face any sort of problem. The fan noise was quite low and not that audible. On the overall, the GPU was quite stable even after overclocking and performed very well in my testing. But considering the competition right now, for a slightly higher price of around 1000 rupees, you'll get the new Radeon RX 5700 XT, which performs a bit better than the RTX 2060 Super. But again, if you want Nvidia's exclusive features like ray tracing, DLSS and AI enhanced graphics, the RTX Super GPUs are your best bet. The only thing I felt was Nvidia should have slightly reduced the RTX 2060 Super GPU pricing. And out of all the available models in the market, I felt the Galax 2060 Super EX is a good choice as well as value for money because it offers easy one-click OC solution, has beautiful RGB lighting effects, is very silent and gives great results. This GPU costs around 34,800 rupees in my local market and is great for both 1080p as well as 1440p gaming. Well, that was it for today. Thanks for watching my video, hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more new awesome videos. And I'll see you in the next one.